title of this training is Disgusting Mindset. How do you have a disgusting mindset? What does it even mean to have a disgusting mindset? The reason that I call it disgusting mindset is because there was one conversation that completely changed my perspective about business. Because I thought if I just put in the work here and there, I do a little bit this day, I do a little bit that day, then eventually it would all work out. This could not have been further from the truth. And that was only revealed to me in a conversation that I had with my very first sales manager, Zach Jors. I said, what is it like? What is it that, like the secret to success, the key to success? I know it sounds super cliche, but I was genuinely like, you, your brother, your homie, like you guys are all super successful. Like, how did you get this way? He goes, the one thing I've learned about success is that it is absolutely effing disgusting. Absolutely effing disgusting. And it just blew my mind. Just blew my mind. Because I was stuck in this mentality of like, eventually it'll all work out. And maybe you're right? All things are possible when you move in faith. But if you're moving slow, if you're distracted, if you've got addictions, if you've got vices, then it's going to come a whole hell of a lot slower, right? So how do we have a mindset that's worthy of getting disgusting results? Because in order to get the results that 99% of people won't get, you have to be willing to do what 99% of people are not willing to do. Shortly after I had that conversation with Zach, I started working relentlessly, relentless hours. I went into what I called a season of no. Season of no. You might have heard Alex Hormozi talk about this. Another thing that I want to touch on as well is a season of imbalance. Because these go hand in hand. You're like, oh, Ben, but I want to have balance. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to do the things that I love. You can. You can totally do that. But implementation and speed are the key to any business. If somebody's telling you that you can go work an hour a week and you'll build your dream, they're probably right, but it's probably going to take you 50 times as long as it took me when I locked in and worked 80 hours a week for months straight. There's also something to be said of doing the right things versus doing everything. I was doing everything when I was working 80 hours a week. I made $350. 3 months I was working 80 hours a week and I made $350. 4 months after that point, I made $3K, $5K, $6K, $11K. The difference was signing with a mentor. But you know what I didn't stop doing? Working 80 hours a week. This is the secret to results, is working an insane amount of hours, but doing the right things. Because you think about it this way. If you want the financial freedom, the time freedom, and the location freedom that everybody wants, I have not met a single person that's like, you know what? I'm really happy with where I live. I'm really happy with working a 9 to 5. And I just never want that to change. I've never met a single person like that. I believe we were born to create because we were created by a creator. But if you want the time freedom, the location freedom, and the financial freedom, you have to be willing to work exceptionally harder than everyone else. So if you're already working 40 hours a week at a job, congratulations, you just signed up for another full-time job. If you want to get the results that nobody else is going to get. If you want to take a year to do this, that's fine. I've seen people, full-time students, make $5,000 their first month in the program. $5K their first month in the program. And they're a full-time student. Finals week, they signed 2 high-ticket clients. Why? Because they said no. They said no to going to the parties. They said no to going out bowling, right? Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds like a blast. But hey, I know this is going to sound douchey, but I'm in a season to know right now. I got to build the business. I'm building generational wealth right now. And it sounds like the most red pill or blue pill or whatever. It's the most like, I only care about myself mentality. But sometimes you need to go through a season of imbalance so that you can provide for the people that need it. So, we fixed our weaknesses, or at least we fixed part of our mentality. How do we fix our weaknesses? All right. I'm going to touch on discipline for a second. Now, everything that I know about discipline, just about, comes from my time in the military. I did 6 years in the Air National Guard. I went to boot camp. I got deployed 4 times. I learned a thing or two about discipline. You are capable of so much more than you think you are. The reason that I love working with health coaches is because you found consistency. You realize that you can be consistent of something. So there's a spark. There's something there. You found it. You found at least some level of it. Okay? There's deeper and deeper and deeper levels of consistency. If you are consistent with your faith, meaning getting in your word every single day, now's the time to do that. And we'll talk about practical ways to do that. But if you aren't disciplined in your faith, man, you're not going to be able to add on other things. What does it mean to be disciplined? It means keeping promises to yourself. If you're not the kind of person that keeps a promise to yourself, your promises are too big and your will is too weak. So how do you get a stronger will? By making smaller promises so that you can keep them, so that you can build upon them. What is one thing that you can commit to actually do every day? If you aren't going to the gym every day, how do you expect your clients to do the same? If you are going to the gym every day, perfect. You can attach other habits behind the gym. When it first came to making content consistently, I said, I'm not going to allow myself to go work out until I post a video. I held the thing that I loved hostage until I did the thing that I didn't want to do, which was make content. Ultimately, I knew it was going to serve me building a personal brand, right? This was before coaching. I was selling stickers. I was selling crew necks. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew the value that having a personal brand had. Because it gives you the room to pivot into anything, right? If you see the value of a personal brand, you got to have that on top of mind when you're battling back and forth on whether you're going to go take your cold shower for the day, or whether you're going to make your bed for the morning, or whether you're going to put your phone away an hour before you go to bed. All great things. But it means nothing if you can't commit to it every day. Because once you have the thing that you can commit to every day, that is where you start to create the foundation of discipline. Once you have the foundation of discipline, now you can show up every day for yourself. Now you can believe that you are able to show up every single day for your clients. If you don't think you're going to get your clients results because you can't keep the promises to yourself, then you've got some internal work that you got to do. And that's okay. That's what I'm here for. But that's probably the reason why you don't feel like you're going to be able to keep the promises to your clients. So, how do we have a disciplined day? In order to have a disciplined day, you got to have a disciplined morning. In order to have a disciplined morning, you got to have a disciplined night. It starts tonight. This starts here. Get enough sleep, man. Like, that's literally all this means. Get 8 hours of sleep. How are you supposed to wake up at 4 a.m. if you're going to bed at midnight? I want you to sacrifice this idea in your head of, I need to create the most strict, stringent schedule possible so that I can be successful. I want you to create a sustainable schedule. Create something sustainable that you know you can show up every day. If that means going to bed at 11 p.m. because normally you go to bed at 3 a.m., great. If it means going to bed at 2 a.m. because you usually go to bed at 3 a.m., right? I don't care how small of a step that you have to take. It starts here. If you're going to wake up pre-4 a.m., that starts by going to bed pre-8 p.m. I always like to say nothing good happens after 8 p.m. I don't do anything productive after 8 p.m. unless I'm at the office. If I'm at home, I'm going to kick back. I'm going to relax. Because your environment ultimately dictates where your head is at. That's why I come into the office. Or I'll go to a coffee shop. Or I'll go on a walk and I'll sit down at a bench and I'll pull out my iPad. Because I can't focus on work in the place that I go to relax. It doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for you. I've met people that it works for. But if you sit down at your desk that's in your room and you end up in your bed, you need to leave your house. You need to go somewhere else. So the last thing that I want to touch on, we covered discipline, we covered our seasons. I want to talk about your worth. Why do I want to talk about worth? Because if we don't believe that we're worth $10K a month, why would we ever get to $30K a month? If we don't believe that we're worth $5K a month, why would we ever get to $10K a month? How do you believe that you're worth $100K a month? Is it by making $100K a month? Nope. Not at all. It's by showing up for yourself, showing up for your clients. It's in getting results and feeling good about how you helped people, not feeling like you had to push people over the edge to get into a program, and now they're calling you up asking you for a refund. If that happens, there's probably something wrong in your onboarding process to where they didn't get a win quick enough. And so the buyer's remorse set in, and they said, oh, I don't actually want to do this anymore. I digress. How do we know we're worth $100K a month? Well, let's take a step back. How do we make $100K a month? We probably need to charge more. You need to charge what you're worth. You probably already are charging what you think you're worth. So there's a couple things that I want to touch on. This comes from this, and it also comes from understanding your client's wallet is not your wallet. Your client's problem is your problem. Their wallet is not your wallet. How big of a problem are you solving? Let's say you help somebody lose 50 pounds. They went from 250 pounds to 200 pounds. They've got a wife and kids. They've got a 9-to-5. And they just lost 50 pounds. They're showing up every day for themselves. They're becoming disciplined. And they're becoming worthy of showing up for their kids, for their wives, for their parents. They're showing up for their family. They're showing up for their boss. They're showing up for the people underneath them that they're training. Because they respect themselves. Why do you think people that are in shape get respect? Because it's incredibly evident that they respect themselves. And if they respect themselves, then they respect you. And if they respect you, you should respect them. So how much is this worth? How much would it be worth if I could snap my fingers and you had this? $1,000? $5,000? Because what does this mean? This ultimately means that you can have whatever you set your mind to. That dream that we were told as kids of you can be whatever you want to be, it had a caveat. And the caveat is if you're willing to work hard enough. No one tells you that. If you're willing to get disciplined. If you're willing to go through a season of no, a season of imbalance, where it feels uncomfortable because you're probably working too hard and people think that you're a little bit off your rocker because you're spending all day in an office. You're doing it for your future family. You're doing it for the guy that you just signed up who's 100 pounds overweight and needs a better life. His parents need their dad to be there on their 30th birthday. That's who you're doing it for. So how much is that worth? How much is it worth to bring somebody there? $1,000? $5,000? $10,000? Is it priceless? You can charge more than what you were charging. I guarantee it. It just comes down to how you and your prospect are envisioning the problem. If you think about 3 months before this guy lost 50 pounds, he's on a sales call with you, and he tells you, yeah, I kind of want to lose 50 pounds, but it's going to be a lot of work. Got it, man. Do you feel like it'd be worth it? You feel like the work that you do would be worth it? I don't know. I've tried before, and it just didn't work. Well, let's say worst case scenario. What happens if you don't lose the 50 pounds? I don't know. I'll just keep feeling the same way. No, really. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that medical scare that you had a year ago, you think you're going to keep having those? Yeah, probably. Okay, got it. So your kid who just turned 12, who wants to go throw pigskin with his dad, is that possible if you're in the hospital? You're like, wow, this guy's a jerk. I've seen it. I've seen this. I've gotten off of sales calls with people, and then I see them a year later, and they've gained 30 more pounds, and they just had a kid, and now their kid is about to have a dad that can't spend time with them. How much is that worth? How much would it be worth to respect yourself? How much would it be worth to have discipline? I want you to ask yourself this. And I want to get as practical as possible because I know a lot of this is just head stuff. Right? We talked about having a disciplined night. We talked about having a disciplined morning from your disciplined night so that ultimately you can have a disciplined day. What does this look like? Not grabbing your phone first thing in the morning. Getting in the Word first thing in the morning. Getting in prayer first thing in the morning. There's a quote that I want to finish with. It says, empty schedules are the devil's playground. Empty schedules are the devil's playground. What does that mean? That means if you don't have an idea of what you should be doing, of what you should be aiming for, of what steps are going to take you towards the peak that you're aiming for, if you don't have any idea, if you don't have it written down clearly and concisely, exactly what you need to do today to make steps towards that, then no wonder you don't feel motivated. You don't even know what you need to feel motivated to go do. I need you to get clear on what steps you're going to take. You know what the content cadence is. You know what you need to be committing to. You know how many DMs you can send an hour. 20. Content cadence. 1 video a day for short form. 1 long form a week. Right? You know the numbers that we need to hit. We know how many DMs we need to send. So if that is the case, then why not mark out on our calendar 15 minutes at the top of every hour to respond to DMs? But this isn't the time, the location, the financial freedom that I was promised. This is what getting there looks like. Becoming incredibly disciplined so that you can experience freedom. You cannot have freedom without first being disciplined. So time block. When I first needed to get disciplined, I time blocked out every hour of my day. There was not an open spot on my calendar. If somebody booked a call within my calendar, it just went on top of my time blocked stuff. Oh, that sounds exhausting, right? Here's what I did. I time blocked out my morning routine. So this was get ready, right? Next, gym. Boom, an hour. Next, I pick up breakfast. I pick up breakfast from Salad and Go, or I would eat my breakfast meal prep before I ever had money. I'd eat oats every day for months. I can't even look at a bowl of Proats anymore because I ate these so often. Breakfast. Boom. Now we're at the office. What am I doing? DMs out the gate. As soon as my workday starts, that's what this star is right here. As soon as my workday starts, I want to be doing revenue-generating activities. Things that push the bottom line forward. Things that get me closer to bringing in a client, right? So that's getting attention, having a conversation with that attention, and then converting that conversation, right? DM/RGA, right? So maybe before we do that, we need to post a video. Or maybe we just post a video after that, right? We hit our outbounds, our 20 outbounds for the hour, the first hour, as soon as we're at the office, or the coffee shop, or the basement, or wherever you're going to do your work. Post a video, boom. DMs, right? Script content. I'd write out all my activities that I needed to do every single day, that I was committing to every single day. I had a motivational message that I would send to my health community every day. Every day. This is the beauty of having discipline, because you know that you can commit to all this laundry list every single day, and doing things every single day is how you become a master. If I played piano every single day from the day that I started playing piano when I was like 7, dude, I'd be freaking Beethoven right now. But I didn't. So what are you going to commit to doing every single day, right? And if you time block it out and you know exactly what the next thing is that you need to do, it's pretty hard to mess it up. Great, somebody books in a call right here. No worries, you just move this down. Because once I've gotten all the things that I'm going to commit to every single day, to-dos, then I switch to fighting fires. What are fighting fires? Putting out the fires. This needs attention immediately because somebody can't get into the program or whatever, right? My ADHD brain would be fighting fires all day if I didn't have a whiteboard on my desk that I could jot down the things that I needed to do for the day. So that when I get to my to-do time, I can just run down the list. Boom, 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 boom. ADHD bonus, too. If you find yourself interrupting yourself, I want you to keep a little notebook with you. Mark an X every time that you interrupt yourself, and mark an O every time somebody interrupts you. You're going to see something like this after probably the first hour, if you're as bad as I am. A lot of times you just need to bring the problem into your attention so that you can solve it. If you have a problem with that, with interrupting yourself. Oh, I got a notification. Let me check it. Oh, shoot. I got a Hinge match. Oh, now I'm swiping through Hinge, right? You got to stay focused on the task, all right? So, time blocking. This is going to make a massive difference. You're going to know what you're going to wake up and commit to every single day. This is how to get disciplined. If this is too much for you, that's fine. Just time block out this to start, and then this. Be like, all right, I know I can commit to that. I'm comfortable with that. All right. I think that's everything I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I will gladly send you over a response on how to become disgusting.